Yo, it's your girl Mercedes,
Your boy Los,
and this is our podcast, Agree to Disagree.
two-sided talk.
And today our topic is social media ruining our perspective?
Mm-hmm. Yes and yes,
Yes and yes.
yes and yes. I think it also. I think it depends on your age group too, because I feel like some of the older generation know, and I think it's more or less the younger generations kind of fuck in a nicer sense, but not because they're kind of just
Mm,
they're believing everything they're seeing. And then and I'm not saying all older and all younger or
mm-hmm.
not seeing that other side of the fucking picture. Like, I believe there's older people in our generation that are whatever they're seeing is what they're believing,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's some that are they use their common sense nah, I don't know about that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it's ruining everybody's perspective. Old, our age, younger age. And I say that, not, and I won't even say just ruining, because some things, I mean, it's not bad, right? Some things that we learn on social media are good things, like like little hacks or better ways to take care of yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like majority though it does, especially I feel like when it comes to our image. I
Yeah.
feel like social media sets a perspective of like what you should look like as a woman or what you should look like as a man, and I feel like that really tears women or people in general down.
I wouldn't
Um,
say on the men's side. Well, okay, not all men. Okay, because yeah, I get what you're getting at.
yeah,
The fucked up part is you do see a lot more women attacking women, regardless of what it is. Like,
I don't feel like it's just women. I like when I read comments, honestly, like it's women and it's men.
no, I'm not saying
Like,
it's just women, but I'm
yeah.
saying more or less you'll see a lot more women downgrading another woman for no
Oh
reason,
yeah, you
and it's
definitely
like
do.
you went out of your way, you don't even know the person, and you're gonna talk shit
Yeah.
about that female for
No.
what?
Oh, 100%.
And I mean,
Like,
don't get me wrong. There's fucking trolls of dudes that are out there that
yeah.
sit around doing absolutely nothing, and they just want to talk shit because they're
Hmm.
keyboard warriors. But that's you know,
No, 100. I mean, ooh, excuse me. No, I mean 100%. I didn't. That I yeah. That I know there's people on there that talk crap. Like I do social media, so I know I get it all the
yeah,
time. But like no, like what I'm talking about, like I feel it does ruin the perspective for
no, it
everybody, and I
does.
feel like one of the biggest things is looks and
Yeah,
appearance, and I feel like it is a lot with men. That's why men feel they need to be bigger, right? Like or like stronger muscles. It's not.
no,
It has nothing to do with just yourself. You see somebody else, you're like, see, I want to look like that. You see some this, oh, I want to do that.
but
Like
gym rats
so,
have always kind of been
it's.
like that. Like they're like Arnold
But where did that
Schwarzenegger. Those
fall
are
from, though? It
from.
fall from other things they've seen.
Oh yeah, no, for
Even
sure. But back
so,
then there wasn't social media. It
it
was just
doesn't. It was just a
you
different
seen that
way, but it was just
big
a different
fucking dude at
way.
the gym, and you're like, yeah, that's how I want to
But it
look.
was just a different way. But social
Yeah.
media is so big.
Oh yeah.
So again, that's my point. Like I feel like it is literally ruining, and especially, especially the younger generation. I feel like it's so hard on them now because
It is.
they feel like they have to reach these high expectations, even when it comes to love. Like
Yeah.
I feel like so like with us. I feel like it's a little less because obviously like the way we grew up it was we didn't always have social media,
Right.
right? Where now these kids are growing into social media, so now even the love they see on social media, they believe that that's real, and it's
Right.
like you guys don't know what goes behind. Like
No. Yeah.
these famous TikTok couples, like that's not their life, and then you see it because years. I see so many ones that have been together that started young, and they're
Yeah, and
breaking up, and they're
they're
getting
divorced
divorced
or
and stuff like
whatever.
that, and it's like exactly because, and they're like, oh my god, no, they were my favorite couple, they were
Yeah.
so cute. They have to do that on
Yeah.
TikTok,
They're just
like
putting up
so
videos.
it's like exactly like
You really don't know what's
you don't know
happening
what's happening
behind
behind
that
closed door.
camera, or
Exactly.
and there was that one couple I was following. I just found out they were split. The Asian woman. I don't know if she was Asian but she was, that side of the country.
Huh.
And she was with that white guy. And he'd always get her in trouble with her father.
Oh yeah. She would always throw slippers at him and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
separated. And I'm like, oh shit, that sucks. But I don't know what they were really going through
yeah.
outside of social media. So it's like, yeah, that's
Hmm.
what these kids are seeing. It's like, oh, they're happy. They're always
No, yeah.
laughing. And it's like, no, dude, you don't see that they're probably fighting
Yeah.
hard behind that
No,
camera.
yeah. Just like with, a lot of these TikTok people that like, do have all kinds of makeup. And first of all, I go to my personal TikTok page. I wear a lot of makeup too. I do and I don't sometimes. But like I'm just saying, so I'm not against makeup. I'm just making a point here. I love makeup. Believe me, if I turn that phone around right now, I have all kinds of makeup. But like you see a lot of people with a lot of makeup on
Hmm.
top of it, and with filters,
Yeah.
and then like you'll have people on the thing like, oh, do it like show yourself with no filter, like the ones that
Yeah.
aren't throwing shade, like, oh, show
Yeah.
yourself with no filter. And then you can still tell, like, the girls will be like, oh, I don't need one, and you can still tell they have a, like, because, and I get it, it's insecurities, like that's the
Yeah.
reason, so I
Yeah.
do it too, like, like at the end of the day, as much as I say I don't care what people say about me, and like I
Hmm.
feel like for being on social media and doing all the videos I do, it is hard sometimes, like, to read them, but I'm
Hmm.
like, brush it off, whatever, like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can get to you. So it is hard. Like, people don't understand who don't do it. It's a lot. Even doing this podcast, it's a lot to put yourself out there on social media, and because you get stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
why I still like,
The social media it can be brutal.
yeah, yeah,
And it's shitty. Is because it's like it, my thing is if you don't have something nice to say, don't even fucking say it. I mean, trolls are
yeah,
gonna be trolls, but at the same time, it's like, what do you get out of that? Like,
yeah.
you get off on that, or because I can guarantee you half those people that are sitting there running their mouth would never say that face to face to somebody.
Oh, 100
And that's
percent.
my that's why it's like really hard for me to like fully engage in like TikTok and shit like that because I'm like I get hot headed and I'm like I'd rather
Hmm.
let's meet up and we'll see how
Yeah.
this goes.
See, for me, it's like it's just something I love, and I think you've
Yeah.
seen that
No. Yeah. No. For
even
sure.
before, not recent. Like, I've always like loved it. Like, I always have
Yeah.
loved
No.
it.
You have that
So
itch, so it's
yeah, and so like I wear makeup, or I'll use filters and stuff like that.
I'm gonna start using filters
Um,
and makeup.
and it's I don't know, like, even though I say like I love it a lot, and I say I don't care, a little part of
Hmm.
me does, but that little part doesn't let me get too much under my skin.
Yeah.
But there can be days, where like I'll be like, ugh, and I'll be like, just don't let it get. So I'll try to turn it into the comments to give me more,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
kind
Oh
of get
no,
a
for sure.
comeback.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are
No,
nasty.
they are.
People are. It's terrible how bad people are. But that's my point. So like, social media does really ruin the perspective of
No, for sure,
life.
and
Like,
that's why like it's really bad for these younger kids, and um, you could sit there and be like, well, or I don't let my kids this, and they're gonna do it regardless. So I'd rather
yes,
watch what she's doing, and instead of her hiding what she's doing behind
yeah,
my back, and then I never know what she's doing
yeah.
behind my back.
But trust me, you have people who are right now probably watching us, and they're
Yeah,
like what you just said, like,
yeah,
um, they're gonna do it regardless. I guarantee the minute you just said that, people were
mm,
like, nope, nope, I know what they're doing.
yeah,
Like, and no offense, I'm not trying to mock you, but you think you know what they're doing.
yeah,
100%, they're doing it behind your back, and I know people are
yeah,
probably rolling their eyes right
right.
now. Like, I can just see
And
it.
it's crazy because like
And
half those people knowing damn well at that age that we were told not to
yeah,
do certain things and we did it.
yeah. So like, it's like whatever. Everybody parents differently, but I
Yeah,
rather let my kid, do, because then, like, when she has questions or something like that, she comes to me.
yeah,
Like, instead of doing it with her friends behind the back, and then she's like, "What is that?" and like they're telling her wrong, or just she's getting the wrong idea or
yeah,
impression. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. Because they don't know any better either.
yes,
So it's like everybody's just guessing on what they think
yeah.
things can be. But it it
It's just
sucks
like,
because they it can be bad for them. I
yeah,
mean,
it's just like a. I feel like with kids, it's just like a relationship, like how in our marriage, like, right, like,
mm,
what do they say? You need to have the hard conversations,
yeah,
and I feel like that's the same concept as a parent
yeah.
and your child. Like, you need to have those hard conversations. Like,
No, for
you
sure.
need to talk about them, because the more you just want to avoid those conversations and take stuff away,
Yeah,
the more they're gonna
they're
want to
gonna
do
hide
it,
it, and they're yeah,
and it's just gonna be bad.
yeah,
But that's just my opinion. But yeah, so I would say with social media, it is ruining the perspective, and I feel like it falls under every age.
yeah.
I just feel like some ages are worse than others because they're growing into it. Like, that's all they
Right,
know.
right.
You know what I mean? Where we kind of adapted with
And
change
that's
and evolved.
what I was gonna get at earlier is like our generation. I don't really know what we fall under. I guess we're considered millennials, but we were raised like the older ones before us. Whoever,
Hmm.
I don't follow all that shit, but So like the younger ones, we obviously know they were raised on fucking social media, basically in a sense. And then the older generation, they still don't really know how to use it. So if they read something, they automatically assume it's true because you can't put anything on the
I
internet that's a
don't.
lie.
I don't. You said the older ones? No,
Yeah.
I feel the opposite than what you just said.
I don't
I feel
know.
like they're always like, oh, social media. Like,
Nah,
no,
I don't know, man.
like I just
Because
feel
I
like
know a few older.
you guys see it and you guys believe anything you see
No,
on
and
social
that's what I'm
media.
saying. Because I know
No.
a few older people who have read shit and be like, oh my god, did you see this and that? And I'm like, did you actually like research it and look it up and see that it's fake?
But see,
Or...
I feel like that that falls under any age too, and to each its own. But I feel like that's
Yeah.
just dumbass people, because a dumbass could be any age.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I know that's probably ignorant. People are gonna be like, "That's rude," like, but like, no, like, it is. It goes back to, do you believe everything you read on the internet? Like, you
Yeah.
have to do your research. Like, you have to read things. Just like with, and we're not. When I say this, we're not getting into it, so don't start talking about it. I'm just saying. Just like with the politics stuff going on
Oh,
right
yeah, I
now.
don't get
Okay,
into
I'm
that
not even
shit.
gonna go into detail because this is not what my podcast is. I'm not, but I'm just saying everything I see people talking about, like with each president and or like people that are trying to be elected, it makes me laugh. And I'm not even saying I know everything, but some of the things I do see, I'm like, what? Like, you don't even make, like, listening, because like when the people are, this is my point, when people are talking about that one person, if you keep listening, like, they contradict, they say one thing and then all of a sudden they keep going and then they go
That's
backtrack,
why I
and
don't
it's just, and
even
I'm
get
just
into
like,
that shit.
what? Like,
as soon as
did
I
you
see
not
those
just hear what
videos,
you just said?
yeah,
Like,
I'll just kind of like skip that video because I'm like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
not.
So it's just like, I think that's another thing is like social media. I'm not gonna say it's so hard because it is bringing a lot of stuff to light, but it also it's making people lazy a little bit to be educated and read and open books. Or
yeah,
like, and
yeah,
really learn, right? Because they're
yeah.
trying to learn the faster way
But
now
then,
by searching on
but
TikTok
then
or
again,
searching this, and
it does give that benefit because like it brings it up, and then there are people who'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna go actually look
no,
and
that's what I'm
figure
saying.
this
Like
out.
the people
So it
who
does.
search, but there are some laziness who
Yeah.
just see
Oh
and they're
no, for
like,
sure, for
"Oh
sure.
my
Oh,
God,
did you
did
see
you
it on TikTok?
see?"
Yeah.
And it's just like, but
No.
okay, just because because some people do lie to get like the views
Followers and
and
views
stuff. You know what I
and yeah.
mean? And it's like, did
You
you
see it all the
actually?
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like okay, off top, I mean, not off topic, but we're going on that lie thing on
Uh
social
huh.
media, right? So, okay, so I believe in UFOs. I believe in extraterrestrials, all that shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but I'm also not stupid. So there's a
Yeah.
video that was just circulating the other day, and it fucking blew up, and somebody was recording it from a specific angle, only a specific angle,
Yeah.
and from that angle, it looked like it could be a UFO, and it was a drone show. But I mean, it's like
But that was their time
that
to
was their yeah
lie
exactly
because they knew all the views. People would be like,
right
"Whoa," you
yeah
know?
because that angle you're like that's kind of
Yeah.
questionable like maybe
Yeah.
but then you're like nah let me look into it a little bit and me I'll go into
Yeah.
the rabbit's hole
I
on
do too.
UFOs.
So do I. Yeah.
And lo and behold it was a big drone show and it was I guess it was like somewhere in Honolulu or close
And
to
then it's
Honolulu.
funny because you got people on there like, that's what they want you to think.
Yeah, that's
and
what they
it's
want
like,
you to think.
no,
Project Bluebeam,
like, yeah.
and you start getting all this crazy shit. I'm like, nah, dude.
No, yeah.
Like, actually, just look into it a little bit. You'll find the real fucking answers. And,
But no, yeah, that's what people do. Like,
yeah.
they'll record something that like is planned, and they'll be like I don't know, like okay, like some like Chicago police show could be recording something, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say a person recording, oh my God, someone just got shot, and it's like
Yeah.
it was a scene from a show, but they're
Yeah.
trying to make it seem like
Yeah.
it really to get the views, because
To get
that's
views,
what's important today, the views. So they're not worried about a lie or miscommunicating or lying to kids and letting
Right.
kids believe this shit. Like, as long as they get the view,
Yeah.
that's all that matters,
Like
you know?
the one
and
those ones that pop up at the moon all the time. The moon exploded or whatever. And like, I don't know
I
if
don't
my
see
moon got that.
those.
Oh, I get those all the time. It's like something flies into the moon and explodes and like just happened. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And I'm like, I don't think my moon got that memo because I can still see it. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, no.
And that's the fucked up part because they're just as bad as. So social media is as bad as.
So,
the
but we
news.
can't blame social media.
No, well,
so I
no,
know we're
you
talking
can't.
about social media, so I do want to clear this up too, because I'm big on this. Social media is not bad to me though. There's a lot of bad things on it, and yeah,
There's
a lot of things
stupid
happen.
people.
You can't people are gonna do dumb shit, but you as a parent
And as an adult or a
and as
person.
an adult, and teaching your child what's right from wrong, right? So this is where it falls back to what we were just talking about, why it's so important to discuss with your child, because regardless, they're going to do it behind your back. Let's give an example. Let's say you don't let your kid watch TikTok. You're like, no, they're not getting TikTok. I don't care, I don't care. So that's going to, one, make them want TikTok more. Maybe they won't get it on their phone, but maybe when they're around their friends, they're watching it TikToks, and they are. Believe me, even if it's one or two, if they're at school or waiting for you to pick them up after school, or they're in a after school program, something. Or if they're not watching TikToks, guess what all their friends are doing? They're talking about TikToks, right? So now your child doesn't understand the grasp of what the actual video was, because remember, kids' imaginations run wild. So let's say the TikTok was about simply a kid, I don't know, let's pretending to, because we know how the Tide Pod thing was big, right? Where the kids were eating the Tide Pods. Is that what they're called, right? The Tide Pod things? Okay. So let's just say now a video that a kid talked at school, and a kid watched a kid pretending to go eat a Tide Pod but didn't. But that kid, it's just like if I was to whisper something in your ear, and it goes you, it starts to change, and it starts to evolve, it starts to change. So the story, imagine your kid not watching TikToks, and now the kids go to school talking about it, and they just make it sound worse than it was. Now your kid's curious. Now your kid's eating a like, I don't know. It just, that's how things happen. Ooh, again, I hit this. That's how things happen, and that, I mean, it really can't stem from that. Yes, it can stem, too, from your kid actually watching TikToks, too, and copying what another kid did, because that's what was happening. They seen these kids eating the Tide Pods, and there was another one, another thing they were doing.
There were all kinds of
I don't know. There was really dumb stuff, and kids were dying. But again, so I don't want you guys to be like, oh, you can't blame the parent. It's not always. I'm not blaming the parent. I'm not blaming the parent like that. I've done a lot of dumb
shit as a kid.
Yes, I'm not saying it's their fault like that. But what I'm saying, it's a rock and a hard place, right? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but
just have those hard conversations.
You need to have those hard conversations. You really do.
And like, with yourself. Stop lying to yourself.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'd rather know what my kid's doing than not know what it's doing. And I know, I'm sure there's still things, so let me not make it sound like I'm a perfect parent. I'm not.
Not even close.
And I'm sure there's still things I don't know. Even as open I am with my daughter, I still don't know everything she does. So there's that. But yeah, at the end of the day, social media has a big effect on society in general.
For sure.
Good ways, bad ways, just like people have
Yeah.
good intentions, bad intentions, everything. So in the world, you can't avoid it.
Yep.
You just need, the best way you can be is knowing right from wrong, what not to do, and what to do. That's it. Just put it this way, be a good person, don't be an asshole. That sums it up.
I'm an asshole, but I'm also a good person, so, I mean.
Well, you are what you eat.
Yeah,
so
that too.
All right, peace out.
Peace.